Bonjour tout le monde. We are broadcasting live from INtermat. Good to see you all here today. Who have we got in the chat? I can actually hear myself, so bear with me just 1 second. Let me kill that. Good morning. Gary Muirhead just joined us. Good morning, Gary. Good of you to join us. Bonjour, Mark. Good morning, guys. Did you not know the French for good morning, Gary? I wonder. Also got Andy Darvell here. Andy was actually in the chat way before the show started. He was here about half an hour ago, actually. Just to let you know, Chris Ford is here as well, and Andy Darvell, bonjour as well. Good morning, gentlemen. Just to let you know the setup. So I don't have a script today. I was only half expected to be able to broadcast live, so there's no script. I'm also down to one monitor, so I can't actually see the chat in the way that I normally would. So you may have to bear with me. As you can see, I've got acres of space behind me. What you can't see is what's behind the camera. Just looking out the window here, I'm looking down on the Sunwall stand, for example. There's Black Cat wear parts there. I think MB Crusher just around the corner. And then sat just to my side here, we're actually sharing a media centre with the fine folks at Route 1 Publishing, who publish these fine publications. And there's a guy called James Howard who sat just inside of me. And I think he may be filming me. I'm not entirely sure. And there is Andy here. Morning, Andy, who says, bonjour, mes amis and colleagues. Come on. I haven't got the right glasses on, bear with me. I don't know what that says. I'll come back to that in the chat because I need to put the other glasses on. And Lou Carney is here as well. Bonjour, Mark. I'm going to switch glasses. I can't work with those. Let's have a look, see what everyone's actually saying. Joyeux mardi, tu manges a croissant ce matin. I have had a croissant today, actually, yeah. And Andy here was saying, comment allons-nous to aujourd'hui? C'est déjà vendredi. I've got the foggiest idea what any of that says. I really wish I had brushed up on my French. And there was our friend Footy, Morning Footy, good of you to join us. Stop with the French people, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Now, today's show is going to be a little bit disjointed. I hope we'll be back to proper broadcasting tomorrow, because I will have had time to script things. But we arrived at the show no more than about half an hour, well, maybe an hour ago. And my friend James, who's over to one side here, actually built the Wi-Fi for us to make sure that we could actually broadcast. We've got a nice strong signal as well. So we've been busily doing that. So I haven't had a chance to do much in the way of scripting, but I do have things to show you. And the first one I'd like to show you, particularly as Andy Darvell is in the chat, is this. This happened on a site in Liverpool yesterday. According to the company involved, apparently this was planned. You be the judge.
Oh God! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh fuck! Up and down. Look at him on the ground, yeah. Uh-oh! Wow. That wasn't meant to happen, was it? Oh!
Yeah, just to translate what the Scouser said at the end of it, that wasn't supposed to happen. I don't believe it was. If anybody's got any comments on that, or if anybody knows any more, apparently that machine was actually a DSM. Not entirely sure that was a DSM job site, but it was most certainly a DSM machine. Andy Hess is 100% planned. That bravo, first-rate job. Yes, I think he may be saying that with his tongue firmly planted in his cheek. Now, we do have lots of stuff to show you. Just to give you a very quick bit of insight, we arrived this morning expecting the show to be ready to rock and roll. The show doesn't open until tomorrow morning, but we expected the show to be well organised and built, but we've been through the Liebherr stand, the Volvo stand, and the Komatsu stand, and there are still pallets on the ground. People are painting machines and polishing machines. So rather than trying to show you what's actually at the show today, we're going to do that this afternoon when everything is actually spick and span, and we'll be showing that to you tomorrow. So instead of that, we'll actually be going through what's happening today, basically. So Jim Turner has just joined us. Morning, Jim. Good of you to join us. So shall we crack on? I'm going to do a question of the day. I haven't done a mystery machine because, frankly, I didn't have time. But our question of the day, because I don't have my stream deck with me, is this. Yeah, question of the day is basically me looking for advice on what to eat this evening, to be honest. What is your favourite French dish? Are you a moule marinière type of person? Are you a steak frites? Are you a tarte tartane? I always like saying that. Let us know in the chat what is your favourite French dish. Andy Darvell has just said. Now, bear in mind what Andy does for a living. Andy is actually a high-reach excavator operator. He's just seen that brown trousers moment right there. Yeah, I as far as I could tell, the debris falling there didn't actually hit the machine's attachment or the dipper on its way down, but it did certainly put a wobble on the machine. Would have been very, very uncomfortable. If anybody's got any more thoughts on that, we may come back to that a little bit later in the chat. So let's crack on, shall we? Let's have a bit of this. So as I say, today's show is very, very unscripted. We will be back to normal broadcasting. I haven't even got the right glasses on today, so you'll have to forgive me for that. So first bit of content for the day, or first bit of proper content. Let's take a look at some of this. Right, that was a bit of John Deere. Not a bad way to start the show. Paul Latham has just joined us. Morning, Paul. Good of you to join us. I hope you're fitting well, my friend. And I didn't phone her this morning, so my wife is actually watching me live, making sure that I'm actually where I'm supposed to be. I am. You can see. I wouldn't run away for a week just to sit here. Really, I wouldn't. Good of you to join us. Good morning, one and all. As I say, we're a bit disjointed today because, as I say, we don't have an actual script to run to. But if anybody is watching and they are at INtermat, please let us know. If you're planning to come later in the week, let us know that as well. While you're thinking about that, let's have a bit of this.
If you are enjoying this episode, please consider supporting the show. You can leave us a tip at buymeacoffee.com/demolition news.
And Ken Hatcher's just joined us all the way from Wales. Wales, this is Paris calling. Good morning to you, Ken. Hope you're well. Hope the weather's treating you kindly. Let's have a look. Gary Muirhead has said, question of the day, crepes when they've been flambéed with brandy. You're just doing that for the brandy, Gary, aren't you? The crepes are a side dish, aren't they? And Ken Hatcher is recommending pizza. He always recommends pizza. You do know that's Italian, Ken, right? And there's Gary Muirhead continuing his secret affair with my wife. Good morning, Ruth Anthony. Good of you to say that, Gary. Should be off the screen by now. One of the exhibitors that's going to be here, well, they are here at the show, they're still building their stand, is our friends over at Liebherr. And we've got a new video from them that talks about their diagnostic system. Take a look at this. Yeah, I said it before and I'll say it again. Leap Air think of pretty much everything. I think that's a fantastic system. I'm going to go back to that video that we played you at the top of the show. Andy Dovell, who, as we know, is a high-reach operator, says, yeah, he got the machine out of the way, whether they meant to do that or not. It's down and no one got hurt. That's the key thing. Yeah, and as Andy has just said there, that is the main thing. Massive loading on that floor to cut the legs. Sometimes they just aren't built as strong as you think they are and collapse under their own weight when you start to take the strength out of them. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you know, it did the rounds. I mean, I got the same version of that video probably a dozen times last night because obviously that's the business that I'm in. But I think everybody said exactly the same thing. It's literally not worth getting excited about because nobody did get hurt. There's our friend Wolfwelder. Morning, Garrett. Morning, Mark. Did you get my email with a question about tea? I don't think I did. I'll check afterwards because I've been traveling. I know you've only just arrived. I'm actually in Paris at the moment, so I'm still catching up on emails from yesterday. So my apologies, but I will get back to you on that. Just heard this from Gary Muirhead, who says that our friend Nick Drew is stuck in the UK until 3:25. Some mix-up with his flight. There's been a lot of mix-ups with flights. Some of my colleagues at Route 1 Publishing have been traveling around Europe the past couple of weeks, and they've had delays and delays and then delays, and even a diverted flight at one point. So yeah, it's not good. Thankfully, I travelled by train. Not a problem at all. How's the weather today? Not particularly warm. I'm sat here rubbing my hands together because it's a bit chilly in here, but the sun's shining outside. I think we're probably expecting about 12 degrees today, so not too bad at all. Andy Darvell, do Americans drink tea? I've seen some horror shows online about Americans drinking tea and cooking it in the microwave. That's not how it's done, people, just for the sake of argument. But Garrett, I promise I will come back to you on your other email. And just as an aside, one of the things that I was talking to Garrett about online the other day, he collects keys, which, you know, each to their own. I've never collected anything, so I'm not really a person to judge. But Garrett has got a big collection of old earth-moving equipment keys, a lot of which he bought from a neighbour. So he's got, you know, old Caterpillar keys and that kind of thing. Does anybody else keep keys? Because, I mean, we used to have a universal key. So if you had one, you had one size fits all. But yeah, it's anybody else has got any keys, please let us know. Ken Hatcher says, you look strange in that hall. Believe it or not, this is not a hall. This is actually a media suite. They've put me in the, well, I've put myself in the corner, actually. Purely to be away from the noise next door. But over that side, I'm pointing that way, it looks the other way, but it's over that way. You know, there's a complete media department over there. That's where Route 1 Publishing are working, and they'll be hosting their advertisers and their contacts as well. Andy Dovell, let's go back to him. I thought Americans were all coffee, whiskey, and weak beer. Garrett, you can take up the mantle on that. I'll leave that one with you. And Footy is saying, I've got about 50 of them keys for diggers. Yeah. I would imagine they're quite a prized thing. Incidentally, talk about collectibles. I don't actually collect these, but one of the things that I wish I had collected over the years is, you know, key cards for hotels. Obviously, I do a fair bit of traveling. Never seen one like that before, though. That's a piece of wood. That's actually, I'll do it by the mic. There you go. That's actually a piece of wood. You ever seen one of those before? Let us know. Jim Turner says, yes, we have a massive bunch or pot of keys, just in case we get something we haven't got a key for. There you are. Garrett, you're not alone. I don't know if there's any sort of exchange program you guys could put together. Some British keys going over to America or vice versa. Please let us know. Chris Ford has come back to us with, oh dear. Yes, our question of the day was favourite French meal or French dish. And Chris Ford says, coq au vin. Try saying that into Google. Go on then. How many of you tried and what was the result? I'm not going to do that. I've fallen for these things before. But yeah, coq au vin, not bad. Not bad. Anybody got any other suggestions, please let us know. We've got a Volvo video coming up. One of the ways in which they can power their electric machines. I'll be seeing that later today or possibly later in the week. But I'll show you that in just a moment. How are we only only just tapping into this rich vein of content that we've stumbled into. Gary Muirhead is also a key collector. Yes, I've got an old ice cream tub full of old digger keys that I got from a friend who's now retired. And Footy, he's only missing one, and that's from a Lee Bear. I don't know if though. I'm not going to steal one because Lee Bear generally are quite big German people and they'd probably beat me up. But I'll see if I can get a Lee Bear key while I'm here, and I'll see if I can send you one. Footy, keep your eyes peeled. There may be something coming your way in the not too distant future. Now, I did mention the fact that we were going over to Volvo. Obviously, Volvo is very much a pioneer in all things electric, not just in the electric equipment, but also in the powering of the electric equipment as well. And this is one of their latest products.
I'm very pleased to show you the first mobile power unit from Volvo, the Volvo PU500. PU500 is specifically designed to charge electric construction machines and trucks, even at the job sites with no or limited grid availability. As you may know, grid availability is one of the main global challenges we need to solve to make transition to electromobility easier, and this is a product which can help to solve that issue. The PU500 is equipped with efficient and responsibly sourced lithium-ion batteries. There are 6 batteries, each containing 66 kWh, giving a total of 396 kWh. PU500 is robust and easily transported. You can use 4 lifting holes when lifting with chains, or 2.5 meter long forks when lifting with a forklift truck or with a loader. Charging PU500 slowly from the grid and using fast charger to charge your electric machines, you will avoid peak demand on your electrical grid. To charge PU500 from the grid, you can use either 32, 63 or 125 amp connection. When you want to fast charge your large electric machine during lunch break, you use CCS2 DC charging plug with 240 kilowatt of power and fully recharge it in 1 hour. There is Volvo plug as well, with which you can fully recharge your Volvo electric compact excavator in 1 hour or 2 hours in case of Volvo electric compact wheel loader. In addition to DC charging, there are several AC outlets ranging from 16 to 32 amps. With these outlets, you can slowly charge your electric machines or different work equipment you may have on the site. Volvo Construction Equipment is committed to providing the total electromobility solution, an example of which is the PU500, with more other solutions in a pipeline. Contact your dealer for more information.
Yes, as the man said, contact your dealer for more information. Gary Muirhead says, a rusty nail was a universal Lucas key. I think it was back in the day. There's our friend Mick says, going back to that video, they knew that was going to come down. Operator wouldn't have cut the leg like that normally. I reckon the building might have become a tad lively and getting it down the safest way, the next best thing. Like you said, nobody was hurt, just a bit of dust. Shame it wasn't on a job and knock. Yeah, well, absolutely. The problem, apparently, and I can't remember exactly what the shops were, I think one of them was a Tesco, but they were shops directly opposite, which were obviously covered in dust, and you're never entirely sure of exactly what is in that dust, I guess. So, you can understand the fuss, but as you say, rightly, nobody hurt. I'll take that all day long. Ken Hatcher is saying, I'm going to need a plug after Friday. Are you going all electric? Are you going all electric? Let us know. Gary Muirhead says, look, Mark, a steel wrist. Where's the steel wrist? Oh, it was on that video, was it? Yeah, steel wrist are here somewhere. I don't know exactly where. There's a bit of green over in the corner there, but I'm not entirely sure if that's them, but I will go and have a look. Footy says, I bet that costs a packet. Yeah, but it's a one-time purchase, isn't it? One of the things, and I don't know if that was the case in that one, but when I was up in Eskilstuna, maybe 18 months ago, talking to Volvo, and they were talking about the fact that that's one of their ways of repurposing batteries from a spent excavator, for example. It reaches the end of its natural working life, or it expires. It's not able to hold quite as much charge as you might need on an excavator operation. So they just take the battery out and they put it into one of those units, use it for storage, and then use it to actually juice up other machines as well. Seems like a perfectly good solution. Chris Ford says, in days gone by, you couldn't beat the Lucas key or the bent nail if you forgot it, or the foreign equivalent, the E22. Have got keys for machines from the last 50 years neatly in a in a biscuit tin. Yeah, biscuit tin full of keys. Sounds like that's a thing in this industry. Too much information. Mick Norton, just to let you know, Mick, we are coming to you live and direct from Gay Paris. I haven't seen the gay bit yet, but I'm certainly in Paris. Plug-in hybrid, half and half. Yeah, absolutely. Added Arvel. Yeah, she came down quick, mate. Like you say, the building's starting to get wobbly. The best thing is to get it down before it falls the wrong way. Yeah, totally right. Gary Muirhead says, how many times do these buildings fall without being captured on camera? Yeah, it's a good question. And again, I mean, when you flip that around, one of the dangers, I guess, of working on an inner city site is the fact that you are constantly under scrutiny, not just from the health and safety people, but passers-by as well. And we all know there's been prosecutions that have been triggered by people filming from next door, where somebody's done something they shouldn't, and the next door neighbour has decided to report them. So, yeah, you're constantly under scrutiny. Let's face it, in the UK, we're constantly under scrutiny anyway, because there's a CCTV camera pretty much everywhere you go. The dipstick is a worn-out Lucas barrel. Got me go. The dipstick in a worn-out Lucas barrel has got me going on many occasions. Well, each to their own. That's all I can say on that. We do need to press on because we've got more to bring you. Let's have a bit of this.
Since the finance bill came into effect in April, the construction industry has seen a surge of fuel thefts. The rising cost of living has placed an additional risk of theft by employees and contractors, as well as opportunistic thieves. By using diesel dye and placing warnings of its use, you are sending a clear message that this is your fuel.
Yeah, we've had another answer in on our question of the day. Favourite French meal or French dish? French fries, French bread, coq au vin. What about a bit of crêpe Suzette, steak frites, moules marinière, lobster thermidor? I think that's French. Is that French? I think that probably is French. I don't know. I'm not an expert on these things. Anybody got any other suggestions? Please let us know. We've got one final film to bring you today because I do need to get out and about in the showground and actually get some filming done. Our camera's on charge as we speak, so ready to go. Obviously, we're going to be focusing very much over the next 4 days, I guess, on very, very new machines. But we've been talking recently about the financial and the sustainability and the carbon emission benefits of rebuilds and remanufacturing. We've got a video about that. And things just got really meta. Steve Williamson is here. I'm in Paris. Steve's in Paris. Good morning. Such a lovely day. What a place. It certainly is what a place. I mean, I've not been back to the Parc des Expositions in the last 6 years. First time back, as I say, in 6 years because COVID put paid to the last one. So, yeah, very, very glad to be back. I will be finding Steve at some point later in the day. Steve also says, he had snails last night. Not for me, thank you. I quite like a snail. Quite like a frog's leg as well. Not a problem with either of those. Bâtonnet de poisson. Is that fish fingers? It feels like it might be. And a bottle of Bordeaux, says Gary Muirhead. A bottle of Bordeaux to wash it down, Ruth Anthony. She would take more than one bottle, I would say. Where is Fred? Fred is actually out and about. I'm obviously broadcasting live, so he's out. He may actually have the drone up in the air at the moment. Don't tell anyone because we're not entirely sure if we're allowed to be doing that. But he has got the drone with him, so he's going to be doing a bit of a flyby. One of the things that I wanted to touch on today, and obviously I'll be meeting up with Steve at some point, either today or tomorrow. We're working here with the fine folks at Route 1 Publishing, but we're also working with the likes of Komatsu and Steel Wrist and Kinsoffer and Oil Quick and Bobcat and various other people. But if you are obviously, if you can't make it to the show, we're going to do a request. If anybody would like to go over to the INtermat press, the INtermat website rather, have a look at the website, and if there's any manufacturers on there that you think I'd really like to know more about them, let us know. Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the WhatsApp group. Let me know via email or LinkedIn or any of those things, however you care to. Just let me know the name of the manufacturer, and I will do my level best to get out there with the camera, film them, and we'll do a dedicated film to you if we can find the time to do it. So please let us know. Let's go back to the chat. Question today: sausage roll, believed to be a French invention, but it has to be Greg's. I'm not sure the French would approve of that. But the sausage roll is a French invention? Is it? Is it? Who knew? Will you be showing my ladder after people? I have shown your ladder already. Did that on Friday last week, but more than happy to show it again. I've not got the photograph with me here, but I can certainly do that. You should see the playground. I'm working with a lovely Volvo Ductis, Steve Williamson. I'll be coming by, Steve, don't you worry about that. And he's also in the Hitachi Beast 180, superb stuff. Has the hat collection made it to Paris? The hat collection hasn't made it to Paris. It's this one. I'm back to the old style, purely because I can walk around in this. You look a bit of a spanner wearing a pork pie hat in France, I always think. I don't know why I've just... Although, wasn't there a pork pie hat in French Connection? There may be. I just making stuff up as going on. Kitted out by Kiesel. Yeah, Kiesel and K-Tech, obviously the Hitachi dealer, but they have also done some fantastic stuff. My primary interest with K-Tech, obviously, is all things demolition, because they do some fantastic demolition rigs, but they're awesome stuff. And Footy says, so what's the verdict on the ladder then? I think the ladder is a fantastic idea. For those of you that haven't heard this, Footy has been struggling to get in and out of his machine, and he will not be alone in that. So he went out and he invested, I think he said it was about £13 in a trampoline ladder from eBay, and he now uses that to get up and over his tracks and then onto his machine. Then takes the ladder out, puts it behind him in the seat, or behind the seat, and then uses it to get back out again. Fantastic idea. But one of the things that strikes me, and one of the things that I want to focus on while I'm here at the show, I'm actually going to go and get in a few machines. And, bearing in mind, I have 59-year-old knees. I wonder how easy I'm going to find it. I mean, I get in and out of machines on a fairly regular basis, nowhere near as regular as you guys. But I'm going to go and try it out. One of the things that I am very much looking forward to, and I don't know if Steve has actually managed to make it into Hall 5, I think it is. I'm not entirely sure which one it is, but Hall 5B, I think it may be, the Komatsu stand. Obviously, they're still setting it up, but they've got a brand new excavator cab, designed and built in the northeast of England, up at their factory in Berkeley, and they've got one on a machine, but they've also got one on the ground. So, Steve, I've already spoken to the guys at Komatsu this morning. My plan is to get Steve, if he can spare me 10 minutes to get away from the Kinsoffer stand, come over and give us your verdict, a live verdict on what you make of the brand new Komatsu UK cab, because there's one brand spanking new, and this is basically its official launch. This is the first time you'll be able to see it. So if you can find the time, Steve, please come and have a look at that, and we'll do that together. We'll get you mic'd up, we'll get Fred on the camera, and I'll go and have a cup of coffee or something similar. That pretty much wraps up the main part of this morning's show. I'm going to keep it brief because very kindly, the guys that set up the Wi-Fi here, or they've set up the broadband, should I say, they've set me up. I'm on a wired connection, which is why I've got such a reliable and fast speed and everything else. So my bit is working very, very well. But unfortunately, the Wi-Fi isn't working, and they're waiting for me to get off air so they can fix the Wi-Fi. So I'm going to keep today pretty short, but I am going to throw over to the chat in just a second. You know the score. If you can't stick around, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. But if you do have the time and the inclination, I'll be back with the Craic immediately after this final word from our key show sponsor. Yeah, thanks for that, Gary. He says, enjoy the rest of your day. It's a bizarre thing. I'm looking at my clock, obviously, because I'm in Paris. I'm an hour ahead of you guys. It feels like I've got an 11:32 up in the corner of my screen. It feels like I've already been going for an hour and a half, when in actual fact I've been going for just 32 minutes. So yeah, all good here. Let's go back. Who have we got? Yeah, Andy Darville was actually here 54 minutes before the show even started. Well done. And he even did part of it in French. I was expecting a triple bonjour, really, because, you know, he always does morning. Going through the chat, is there anything that we need? Should we have a bit of music in the background? I think we probably should. I think I have the capability of doing that. I hope I have. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. So, French dishes. Could always try the frog legs. I like the snails. Yeah, I've had both. Enjoyed both. Not a great deal of meat on a frog, though. It's the one drawback. They say it tastes like chicken. Yeah, but it's not as big as chicken. And you know, I'm a hungry guy. I've got things to do and places to be. There's my other half, and there is Paul Latham, and there is Ken Hatcher as well. Yeah, Craic Suzette. One of the things I used to love about Craic Suzette back in the day, back in the 80s, I think, probably, when I was being wined and dined as a professional journalist, before I became an unprofessional journalist, going to restaurants, and there was always that kind of theatre, sort of restaurants that carve your roast beef at your table, but they'd also bring out the Craic Suzette, and matey would have it all flambéed, and he'd be making your pancakes and pouring in the brandy and singeing his eyebrows. Fantastic stuff. I'm not accepting pizza as a French dish, I've decided. I've thought about it long and hard, and I'm definitely coming down on the side of the Italians on that. For those of you that arrived late, I'm going to re-show you this video very, very quickly, because it has been doing the rounds, and it's a bit of a talking point in the industry. So take a look at this.
Oh God! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh look! Up and down. Look at him on the ground, yeah. Uh-oh. Wow. Dat wordt een mensen laten maken. Oh.
Yeah, I would imagine the I think somebody actually says it. I think it may have been Andy Darville, brown trousers moment. I would imagine a fair few people out there would have been a little bit worried about that. A rusty nail was a universal leakless key. I think we've done that one. And there's Mike Wright saying 100% they knew that was going to come down. Operator wouldn't have cut the leg like that normally. I reckon the building might become a tad lively. Getting it down was the safest way. Next best thing. Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, nobody was hurt, just a little bit of dust. Shown it wasn't job and knock. My only concern, I think, with that video was the way that the boom was swaying. That's never a comfortable place to be. And I'm saying that as somebody that's, you know, I don't spend a great deal of time in an excavator, but that is scary times. As Ken Hatcher actually told us why he's going to need a plug after Friday. We are talking electrical plugs here, I sincerely hope. Too much information, Ken. Yeah, too much information indeed. Mick Norton is with us as well. Who else have we got here? Yeah, lots and lots of that. French fries, French bread, and coq au vin. Yeah, why not? Steve said, had snails last night, not for me, thank you. Is your wife still here, Steve? Is she staying for the duration, or has she left you to get on with the work by now? It looks like you've been having a fantastic time. Steve is, I don't know if anybody follows, I would like to think that you do. If you follow Steve online, he's done Paris, he's done the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe, and he's done the Louvre, and he's seen the Mona Lisa as well, which is about that big, tiny little thing. Quite disappointing. Well, obviously, it's considered one of the great works of art, but it's a tiny little thing. Not quite a stamp, but headed that way. Now that's a proper green machine. Yeah, indeed. Let's have a look. And Steve Williamson asked, where is Fred? I can tell you, Fred is over there. He's about, I don't know, 20 feet away from me now, deep in conversation about something, I don't know. I've got headphones on. I don't have to listen to them. I had enough of that on the train on the way home. Let's have a look. Has the hat collection made it to Paris? It hasn't. I've brought just the one. Having said that, if anybody at the show, if anybody from INtermat is watching right now and you would care to have your hat appear on the show tomorrow or the day after, just stop me in the aisles, give me a hat, and I'll do my level best. Let's have a look. Going back to Footy on his ladder. Now, it did occur to me, I may have actually left the photograph up from last week. No, I've just checked that I haven't. But yes, Footy is basically solving the design problem with whatever machine he's on at the moment. Inability or difficulty in getting in and out of the machine. He's got himself a trampoline ladder. It's one of those things that you think, well, why do they not come with that? Seems like it's such an easy solution to a universal problem. Don't understand it. Who else have we got here? Yes, there is my wife showing her true colours. Her favourite French dish is anything that comes in a bottle, pretty much. Yeah, it's good to be away from the lush. I'm going to be in trouble when I get home. Chris Ford says, not seeing your ladder yet, Footy. I'm taking it a step at a time. Chris Ford, go and have a think about yourself, would you? Chris Ford says, regarding the demolition, are they now ahead of schedule? Just reminded us of how dangerous demolition can be. I would imagine they are ahead of schedule, but unfortunately with those sort of things, particularly as it's been doing the rounds over on social media, I would imagine they will now get the inspectors down, and they'll have questions to answer. And obviously, if they have covered the local Tesco's in dust, they'll probably have questions to answer there as well. So yeah, all good stuff. But as you say, nobody got hurt. I'll take that all day long. And Footy, do you want me to send it to WhatsApp again? No, I've got it on WhatsApp. I will bring it back up, but I can't do it. I'm actually talking to my phone at the moment. I didn't bring the camera. As you can see, that's my phone up. Well, you can't see, but my phone's right there. So I'm using that. I can't access that at the moment, but I'll get it off. I'll bring it up tomorrow, so I can show it off to Chris Ford as well, even if he's taking it one step at a time. Right, people, that's going to do me, because I do have places to be, people to see. We'll be back with a normal schedule tomorrow, complete with a script and proper introductions and all of the nonsense that goes with it. Incidentally, did anybody see our thumbnail today? I forgot to mention the fact that we are now, for the next few days, this is not the Breakfast Show. This is Le Breakfast Show. It should probably be Le Petit Déjeuner Show, but I can't say that very well. So yeah, Le Breakfast Show, but it's a limited offer. It's today, tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. That's it, and then we'll be back to the Breakfast Show when I'm back in the UK. Everybody, go and have a fantastic day. If you're in Paris, Steve included, come and find me, or give me a call, drop me a message on WhatsApp. If you're giving away hats and you'd like them to appear on the show, let me know about that. If you've got any requests, any of you in the audience, Gary, I'm already going to steal this. You don't need to say that. But if anybody has looked at the INtermat exhibitors list and you think, I'd like to know more about that, or I'd like to see that machine up close, let us know, and I'll go and aim a camera at it today or tomorrow, and we'll bring that to you as well. And yes, we'll have lots more to show you tomorrow when the show is actually open, and we'll be able to show you exactly what the INtermat exhibition looks like. But until then, everybody have a fantastic day. Look after yourselves. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. What's the word I'm looking for? I know what it is. Au revoir.